Here's how we set up a new federation. We'll start by creating the federation server role in Config Tool, System Task Roles. Click the green plus sign at the bottom to create a new server role. Which one? A Security Center Federation role. In a multi-server system, you'll find a list of servers at the top of the dialog box. Select which server you want to host the federation role. I'll choose my S204 server. Where is the remote system that I want to connect to? You can use either IP address or host name of the directory server for your remote system. Once our federation role connects, I'll have to authenticate before the remote system shares anything. Username and password to log into the remote system. And then we find a list of events that could be triggered in the remote system. Which events do we want brought to our host system, if any? Live video streams are not events. Video recording playback is not an event. Motion detected is an event. Door forced open is an event. Intrusion zone active. License plate read. Access denied. These are all events. So for the purpose of live monitoring or historical investigations, events can be shared through the federation. And this checklist allows us to select which events we want to receive. For this demo, I'll just accept the defaults. The second tab presents a list of entity types that can be shared through the federation. Do we want alarms from the remote system shared with the host system, cameras, card holders, doors, etc.? And once again, I'll accept the defaults. Next. What do I want to call this new server role? I'll give it a descriptive name because I'm using my new federation to connect to my training server in Montreal. I'll call it Montreal Office. Next. Create, close. The new server role is added to the list of roles in my system. Initially, it appears red and offline as the system sets it up. If we select its Properties tab, we can see the status of our new federation. Not connected, idle, initializing, connecting to the remote system, synchronizing units, connected. My synchronization was very quick because my remote training system has only a few cameras and card holders. A large system would take longer for the federation to synchronize and download the list of all remote entities, but you'll see the live status with a progress bar right here. Alright, so my host system is now connected to my remote system in Montreal using the federation. On my Federation Roles Properties page, I can find various configurable settings like default video stream. If the cameras in the remote system have various video qualities enabled, which stream do we want to bring over the federation? The remote camera's live stream, recording stream, remote stream, etc. You can leave the default remote here, but in my case, I'm going to choose live because my remote system happens to be on the same virtual network as my host system. This is specific to my training infrastructure and is probably not the case in your deployment. In your case, it's more likely that your host system and remote system will be in different networks. Enable playback requests. When cameras are shared over the federation, do we also want their recordings shared? The default is yes. And various other things that can be shared over the federation or not. I'll leave these with their defaults. At the bottom, I find the same list of event types and entity types that I saw when creating the federation. I won't make any changes here, and apply. That's it. We're ready to test. The federation containing the remote cameras and doors should appear in my area view, so let's take a look over there. Home page, area view task. Yes, indeed, I find 4 local cameras and a new thing in my area view tree called Montreal Office. If I expand it, I find the remote system's area view structure intact. Within the Montreal office, there are areas called Interior and Exterior. Let's test one of the exterior cameras. AE Parking PTZ. Double-click to preview its live video stream. Click Expand to pop it into its own floating window. Perfect. I can see the live video stream. I can see the actual stream properties, encoding format, resolution, frame rate, bit rate, etc. If I click Show Video Stream Diagnosis and then Show Video Stream Status, I can actually see the 4 hops that the video packets must cross to reach my workstation. This is in fact a troubleshooting tool to help us isolate where video packets are getting blocked when we have streaming problems, but that's not relevant right now. I just wanted to show you that the video packets go from camera to remote archiver, hop 1, remote archiver to remote video redirector, hop 2, remote video redirector to our host system's video redirector, hop 3, and finally my local video redirector to my workstation, hop 4. Okay, close. Because I chose to display a PTZ camera, I find the PTZ widgets in my video preview window. Let's try them. And keep in mind the PTZ motor, like the rest of the camera, is not part of my system, but is part of the remote federated system. Go to preset 2. Yes. Go to preset 3. Yes. Go back to preset 1. What about free control over the motor? Pan right. Yep. Tilt down. Yep. Good. So back to preset 1. Clearly, not only can I view the remote camera's live video stream, but I can also control its PTZ motor across the Federation link. Let's close this and see how it looks in the Security Desk application. After all, most users will not be connecting with the Config Tool application. We only use that to set things up. Most users will connect with the Security Desk. So I'll open a Security Desk monitoring task. And from the area view, I'll display a local camera. And let me browse that remote system. I'll pick a remote camera. There we go. I can also display a door from the remote system. If that door has cameras linked to it, dragging and dropping the door would display the associated camera. This door doesn't have any cameras linked to it, so we just see the generic door icon in the display tile. In either case, I can see the current door state. Right now, the door is physically closed and locked. These icons are updated in real time based on the state of the door sensor and the door lock. Let's see what else I can display from the remote system. Right here, maps. The remote system has some maps linked to its areas. There we go. This happens to be a dynamic GIS map showing a Google Earth view of our building and parking lot, but it could well be a fixed image like a building's floor plan. And by clicking on one of the camera icons on this map, I can call up live video from that remote camera. Good. My new Federation role looks like it's working. Once the Federation has connected the remote system to us, we can display maps and receive alarms from the remote system. We can search and play back video recordings. We can generate historical door, area, and cardholder activity reports. We can search through license plate reads and hits and generate alarm reports from that remote system. So if you need the Federation to share all federated entities, simple, we're done. But what if the remote system doesn't want to share everything with the host system? What if the two systems are not part of the same organization, and the remote system is willing to share some, but not all entities over the Federation? Or what if the remote system owner wants to give limited access to the Federation? Like, for example, you can view our parking lot PTZ camera, but you can't control its motor to move it around. You can view the current lock states of our doors, but you cannot unlock any of them. You can play back recordings, but nothing older than 48 hours, etc. How do we tweak and fine-tune what the Federation can and cannot do with the remote system? That's what we'll look at in the next lesson.